All right, let's talk about the Detroit Lions. Obviously, there's a Lions team still at the top of the NFC in terms of the standings right now. There's some bad vibes circulating, mainly due to injuries. Of course, the defensive side of the ball has been absolutely hit. But we got some good news for you today, Lions fans, that I think points this team in the right direction as we get ready for the Super Bowl push. Playoffs just a few short weeks away. But first, I'm Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, right now, there's no team that's beaten down more than Lions if you listen to the media. All hope appears lost. The injuries have really taken their toll. There is some good news on that front in terms of the injury news. Let's pull up this first tweet first, then we'll go into some more reports on the other side. This is courtesy of Ian Rappaport. He said, after Lions running back David Montgomery spent the last few days consulting with medical experts, sources are now optimistic that the star avoided the season-ending injury that was initially feared. Obviously, a good sign. Montgomery will rehab with the hope that he can return at some point this postseason. That's obviously a great sign, right? Obviously, getting Montgomery back at any point during the playoffs would help him make a push, hopefully to a Super Bowl title. But like I said just a few seconds ago, right now, everyone in the media, if you listen to anyone talking, they are just beating down the Lions. It just feels like all hope is lost. But here's the thing people forget about this Detroit squad. This is when they're at their most dangerous. In fact, let's pull up some odds here, courtesy of FanDuel. And you can see right now the Detroit Lions, if you see this on your screen, the Buffalo Bills at plus 450 are the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Then the Eagles at plus 480. The Lions used to be the favorite to win the whole thing just throughout the entire NFL. They're not even the favorite in the NFC right now. They're tied with the Chiefs at plus 500 odds. The Ravens not far behind. So right now, the Lions are back to being what they want to be, an underdog. And this is perfect news for Detroit. This is where Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, Johnson, Glenn, the entire team, Sewell, St. Brown, they want to be the underdog. One of the criticisms that I've had of Dan Campbell is that he refuses to move away from the underdog mentality. Well, they got it right back just in time for the playoff push. This is one of the few teams in the NFL that lives off of this energy. Most teams feel like they have to be the favorite. It's all about vibes. It's all about playing your best football. This Detroit squad is different. They've been different ever since Dan Campbell showed up to the scene. They are a team that thrives on being the underdog, and they've got great news. This report, all the talk in the media about the Lions season potentially being over, as ridiculous as that sounds, due to the injuries. The Lions, I think, are going to thrive in this situation. As weird as it sounds, this is the best news I think the Lions have gotten in a couple of weeks. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on all of this. But first, Detroit fans in the comment section below. Obviously, you got more games to play trying to wrap up the number one seed. The division title still up for grabs, tied with the Vikings. And you got a division game against the Chicago Bears, a team that's spiraling but still has some talent. Let us know in the comment section below your prediction, final score, Bears versus Lions. Want to hear from you guys. Make sure you put your prediction in the comment section. But Miles, I will throw it over to you now. What are your thoughts on this latest Lions news?
Yeah, Nick, I think when you phrase this and say that it's good news, I think it is. And I think it's great news for the Lions because the truth of the matter is, and I think teams and I think fans don't understand this, it's hard to be on top. It is really tough to be at the top of the ladder because everybody is gunning for you, everybody is wanting you to fail. That's why it's so impressive what teams like the New England Patriots did in the Brady era. That's why it's so impressive of what the Kansas City Chiefs are currently doing right now. I think it is really hard for teams to be on top. It's much easier, like you said, to be an underdog and have that sort of mentality. That is the culture that Dan Campbell has perfected. And, it's easy to get it back. As much as we were saying the Lions, they were the best team in the NFL at one point in time, I still think they have the ability to argue that they are one of the best teams in the NFL, if not the best. Dan Campbell loved that underdog mentality. And that's something that you can easily grasp at. It's something that if you keep winning, it seems more and more ridiculous. But the second you lose, you can harbor back that underdog mentality and be like, hey, look, people are counting us out now. They're questioning us. You go back to that really, really easily. So I think that there are some strengths to it. There's also, if you want to be the top dogs, it's not the best strategy to have. But I think it's tough to be there. So this could be a good strategy for the Lions going forward. I think we see it throughout a lot of their players as well. It's like what I see out of a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, who got hurt early on this season. He's like, people are going to count us out. People don't think I'm coming back. Well, I'm coming back for the Super Bowl. I'm going to keep training. People don't believe in us, but I believe in this team. I'm going to keep training, get myself ready because I'll be ready for when we make it to the Super Bowl. So Believe in yourself when nobody else believes in you. That is what the Lions love to do. And we're seeing that now throughout a lot of their players, David Montgomery included. That's a guy really trying to say, hey, I think we have a chance. People might not believe it, but getting ready for the postseason. This Lions team really capitalizing on that underdog mentality.
Yeah, and I just feel like it's the entire team just feeds off the energy, that vibe where anything goes. We can do anything at any time because we're the underdog. We're playing with house money, nothing to lose. And that energy kind of goes away a little bit when you beat Dallas by 38, when you drop 40 burger on the Seattle Seahawks, when you put 250 burgers, one on the Titans, one on the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? That energy, that mojo, we're playing with house money kind of goes away because it kind of have something to lose, right? You're the most dominant team in football. You could potentially lose an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. And that's not the Lions' MO. That's not their mentality. That's certainly not how Dan Campbell approaches it from the head coaching position. And a lot of the players feel the same way. I think now the fact that a lot of people are counting them out, the odds are moving against them in terms of Vegas and the sports books and things like that. In a weird way, this is exactly what the Lions need because it will put them back in the situation they were heading into the postseason last year. I remember going into the wild card game. Everyone's like, the Rams are really, really hot. No one's going to stop the Rams. And the Lions, they beat them, right? Obviously, they handled the Buccaneers, and people are like, great run. They're going to get trundled by the 49ers. And the Lions outplayed San Francisco in that NFC Championship game. In fact, they should have won that game. I think we're going to see this kind of vibe shift in Detroit, put them back in the position they were heading into the 2023 postseason. In a few short weeks, we'll see the results come the playoffs. And I think Lions fans should be really excited because, in a really weird way, this is exactly what the doctor ordered.